$4,400 for a Mitas Tudor Black Bay monochrome. You pay almost $10,000 for a Rolex Submariner. And a Royal Oak extra thin, it costs like $36,000. Cheap is not a word that applies.
The watch is often blurred. However, when you come to Guangzhou, you cannot see any problem just by looking at the appearance. What you need to be careful about is that the low quality movement inside will be sold at a high price.
My suggestion is you can try it first or buy it for a legal way. I'm Sean. See you next time.
95% of the world's watches are made here, including the one you're wearing right now. Many big brand watches are produced or sourced for parts from here. This place is Shenzhen City, the world watch capital city. And in Shenzhen, you must not miss this factory.
Asking y'all should receive. Tisa, where are the watch manufacturers? I did some digging and I found the watch manufacturers. There is a new scandal coming out of the luxury watch division. Listen, if you want to keep going to Rolex, if you want to keep going to AP and spending your money, go and do that. However, industry insiders are coming out, and I have their videos. People have even been fired from it for lifting the hood.
Watches come in different sizes. A small dial makes your wrist slimmer, while a large one makes you a stronger arrow. First of all, you need to determine your budget range. The Rolex Datajust is the best choice for cost-effective.
In the glittering world of luxury watches, where the price tags often rival a luxury car, one name has long stood as the pinnacle of wealth, status, and precision: Rolex. For decades, it's been the go-to symbol of success, the ultimate mark of accomplishment. But what if I told you that the $10,000 Rolex you've been lusting after might not be what it seems? What if the truth behind its price isn't about unparalleled craftsmanship, but a perfectly crafted illusion? Hold on tight, because we're about to dive deep into the shady underbelly of luxury watchmaking, where secrets, profits, and deception blur the lines between authenticity and greed. Think about it. Luxury brands like Rolex, Omega, and Patek Philippe have always leaned on their storied heritage and Swiss-made precision to justify their astronomical price tags. But what if the lines between the genuine and the knockoff aren't as clear-cut as we've been led to believe? What if the components that make up these luxury watches aren't crafted by skilled artisans in a Swiss workshop, but are instead mass-produced in the same factories that churn out cheaper alternatives? Behind the scenes, a quiet revolution is taking place. A parallel market has emerged where knowledgeable buyers can walk away with a Rolex or Omega made from the exact same materials as the originals, without ever stepping foot into an authorized dealer. It's a market driven by access to the same suppliers, the same parts, and often the same movements that go into making the official models. The only difference? The price tag. It's time to peel back the curtain and explore the hidden reality of luxury watchmaking. What was once considered the ultimate symbol of sophistication might just be built on the same principles of mass production and cost-cutting that every other industry has embraced. Welcome to the world where the line between genuine luxury and clever deception is getting dangerously thin. The rise of the gray market. You're probably wondering, how is this even possible? Well, let's break it down. The luxury watch industry has always been built on the premise that a watch is more than just a timekeeping device. It's a symbol, a status symbol. But what if that symbol is constructed not by intricate craftsmanship, but by marketing and exclusivity? Luxury brands like Rolex, Omega, and Patek Philippe are known for their high price tags. But what you're actually paying for is the mystique, the story behind the watch. The idea that a Rolex is the epitome of craftsmanship, that every component from the case to the movement is hand-finished by a Swiss artisan in Geneva. That's the narrative they sell, and it's a powerful one. But it's a myth. In reality, many of the components that go into luxury watches are sourced from the same factories in Shenzhen, China, that produce parts for replica watches. Yes, the same components that go into the $10,000 timepiece are often built by the same workers, on the same machines, using the same materials. The only difference is the logo on the dial. Now here's where it gets interesting. These factories aren't just making parts for luxury brands, they're also making parts for the gray market. What's the gray market? It's a space where unauthorized builders and private resellers are sourcing high-quality, often authentic, watch parts to build timepieces that look, feel, and function like the real deal, but for a fraction of the price. Imagine this. You order a blank case from a factory in Shenzhen, just the shell of the watch with no branding. Then you source a Swiss movement, perhaps from an ETA or CETA caliber, known for being used in real Swiss-made watches. With a little work, you now have a watch that is 95% identical to the $10,000 Rolex, but it costs you under $800 to build. These parallel market watches are so accurate that even seasoned dealers and watchmakers have been fooled into thinking they're genuine. In some cases, these gray market watches are built from real parts, left over from real production runs that were never meant to see the light of day. When a Swiss brand orders, say, 10,000 bezels from a factory, the factory doesn't stop at 10,000. They'll quietly make an extra 1,000 or 2,000, and those extra parts will get flipped. The end result is a timepiece that's nearly indistinguishable from the original. And sometimes it passes authentication tests. It's not just the watch case or bracelet we're talking about. We're talking about movements, crowns, clasps, even the dials. All of these components can be made with the same materials and exact specifications as the genuine article. The only thing missing, the paperwork and the price. When is a watch not a fake? Let's take this further. You may be asking, so what's the big deal? If these watches are built from authentic parts and work just as well as the real ones, does it really matter whether or not they have a logo? And this is the question that's making the watch industry sweat. When a watch is assembled from the same parts, in the same factories, with the same movements and the same attention to detail, what exactly are we buying when we shell out $10,000 for a Rolex? A myth, a brand name, or something more? The lines between real and fake are so blurry that even the most discerning collectors are second-guessing every piece they buy. And here's the thing. The luxury watch brands aren't completely innocent in this situation. They've quietly been using the same factories and suppliers for decades. Now, we're getting into dangerous territory for the luxury brands. If you walk into a dealer and buy a $10,000 Rolex, but someone else gets the same watch for $800 from a private builder, what does that say about the value of your purchase? And what about those buyers who are paying for a brand name that no longer holds the same weight it used to? This new gray market is not just eroding sales, it's eroding trust, and that's something these brands can't afford. As the luxury watch industry grapples with these changes, one thing is clear. The old narrative no longer holds. The idea that a luxury watch is a piece of finely crafted art, made in Switzerland with the utmost care and attention to detail, is being replaced by something far more complex. Now, luxury is about access, not just wealth. You no longer need to beg an authorized dealer for a spot on the waiting list. You don't need to pay $10,000 for a watch just to feel part of an exclusive club. Now, with the right knowledge and connections, you can build your own luxury timepiece using the same materials and movements, all without the brand name or the price tag. What do you think? Are luxury watches still worth the price? Or has the market found a way to offer the same thing for less? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to stay updated on the latest revelations in the world of luxury and deception. You won't want to miss what's coming next.